For all the hosts and guests, what is the story behind the origin of your online persona? Phil?
Persona. I mean, my story is I was in college. I was in the pre-med program. I thought I wanted to be a doctor for the longest time because my dad said that I probably did, and it turned out not to be the case at all. I hated every class I took, and the big thing for me was I was in college. I was rooming with a girlfriend at the time that I hated, but I stayed with because like we couldn't afford to
You roomed with a girl in college?
Yeah, I went to community college for
I didn't know
my.
you could do that.
No. It was off campus.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was. I went to community college for 1 year in North Carolina, and then when she graduated, because she was a year under me, we both went to East Carolina University. It was good, but then we just slowly, you're young, you're constantly changing. We kind of hated each other, but we couldn't afford to live separately. So we kind of just kept making that work. And so I hated school. I hated that. And so I jumped into YouTube, first watching it with like the old schoolers like Bohem and Renetto and like guys.
City.
Chi-Town City, who hated me and so many other people. I loved his videos because he was so funny.
You liked him, but he hated you?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like one of those things where it's just like, I liked his spiel. Like, I liked that he never pointed the camera at himself, so you never knew who he was. I liked his kind of shit talking, even though it was so just like destructive of where the community was going. Because same as I loved Renetto, and then Renetto kind of turned super, super negative back in the day once the partner program came about. And he talked about like how it was going to ruin YouTube by involving money instead of it being, kind of the growth that was great for the platform. So anyway, so I was watching all that. I thought, if all of these schmucks can do it, I can probably do it. Same as everyone that starts now. And I started making videos that were reply videos to what was on the front page, because back then it was all curated. And I was like, okay, so I'll just make like a really funny or mean reply video and I'll get views, because half the videos on that front page, they're auto accept on the reply videos, and that's how I'll get the audience. And that's what I did for the longest time. And then I started talking about news and pop culture, because that's stuff that made me angry. And I kind of done that now for 9 years and somehow turned into a business.
I have a theory about the news thing. Like, I think that if that's the format you go with, it's not going to work for everyone. It lasts longer, right? So
it does. It constantly repopulates.
A typical thing is like I'll say PewDiePie, right? People will love PewDiePie. That'll be their thing. And then after they watch whatever that number is, 250 hours of PewDiePie, they'll be like, all right, who's next? That'll be their thing, because they're connecting like to PewDiePie. Whereas with you, there's two things to connect to. There's you, but there's also the story that you're telling. You're talking about something that's relevant, and you keep the pace at high speed. And some people who watch your videos are there for what you're talking about. There's like some sort of current pop thing. Like, if I don't know, I'll make something up, right? Kim Kardashian poses nude. All right, Philly D does a video on that. People who have an interest in that story will watch it, even if they don't have an interest in you. Whereas if you take like a me or a PewDiePie or 90% of the way people do YouTube, their interest in that person fades in the same way that 7 seasons into How I Met Your Mother, you don't even care how they met their mother anymore. 7 seasons into Friends, 7 seasons into whatever, you're just like, all right, cut, no more.
Well, this is it's a big conversation. It's one that I've thought about a lot since last VidCon. I did a panel with Zay Frank, and his whole spiel at that time was, by making it about personality, make the channel weaker in the long term. While most all of us, it's kind of been about the personality, right? So my channel is definitely in large part due to the personality, especially since I don't know, I feel like I'm not as hungry as I used to be, where something happened and, I threw up that video in 2 hours, and now it's like, I'll stick to my schedule, I'll do what I do, people know to tune in. And so I get that personality more so, or the personality pull more so than the content pull. But SourceFed, the other channel I launched, I think that's been an example of, we have a lot of personalities, we have a ton of them, so that hopefully you get attached to 2 or 3 rather than just one, so it's not super dependent on the personality. But I love what BuzzFeed's been able to do, where in no way is it about the personality. It's just about the content, because that makes the brand stronger, and that gives you a better longevity for the channel. And so I'm not going to change anything about mine to be less about personality, but I think moving forward, I feel like it's got to be more about the content.
Also, the thing is, if you hire personalities, then the power eventually transfers to them, right?
Oh, totally.
In the gaming world, who's more powerful, Nadeshot or Hex? Right? If Nadeshot goes and it becomes, I don't know what's after Optic Scope, Nadeshot, then suddenly I think Optic, like the whole green wall thing, kind of drops, and it's the Nadeshot show.
Well, I wonder. Yeah, I mean that's such
maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a specific thing, because I would never imagine those guys separate from each other.
But I'll go on to what is the European driving show called that's in drama right now?
Top Gear.
Top Gear.
Oh,
right?
Top Gear. Yeah.
Great show.
Right. So one of the Top Gear guys is, I guess they didn't feed him, and he got grumpy, and he told some guy to feed him, and maybe even hit him. I don't know the details, but those 3, that's a personality show, right? They can just go and start some other show working for NBC and fire it right up again. The power isn't with BBC as much as it is with the personalities on it. So, that's it's
something, it's 100% a balancing act. I mean, so even if I go back to SourceFed, I had the original 3 hosts, then we added people, and then those people go on to different things. We have Elliot Morgan, who is a fantastic host, love him. He does stuff for Mental Floss now. We have I hate that I'm forgetting her name.
That happens to everyone.
She's great, though.
She's fantastic.
She
went over to Rooster Teeth. Meg Turney went over to Rooster Teeth. Joe Brett is working with Smosh now. It's just kind of, it's the door. And I think that's why when you have a show that has several personalities, you're always thinking about the next one. Because I see SourceFed and the other channels, you're never going to have anyone. Like, you're never going to have Kevin Pereira for life, because you pick them up because they are such a good host, and they are so hungry, and they have that work ethic. And unless we're making TV money, there's no way you're going to be able to hold on to that person. And so for me, it's more about, I got to be a part of that rise. I got to bring this person up, and then hopefully you have a contract that doesn't keep them down because you have to control them. And it's all about the whole thing growing together.
I'll do mine quickly because I think a lot of people know. I never thought I could make better videos than other people. Like, that wasn't a thing. I just went into it hoping I could join the club. I wanted to play with the people who I was watching, beast in their videos, and it was like, if I just got on the map enough that they knew who I was, I could get in their lobbies and I could play with them. And it was this big scheme, if you call it that, to make friends. That's all I wanted. I wanted to have, if me and Hutch and Cnanners were on the same team, we'd win every game. We'd just dominate every lobby. And that was why I started. There was no money. I did it before there was money.
I would have never guessed that, because out of the tubers of like kind of a range of sizes, you seem to, or either you guys seem to be the ones that have the closest mindset of monetization and money as myself.
Well, I guess.
Or you kind of fell into that.
Yeah. There was no money
at first.
Exactly. Yeah, we all did it for kind of the exposure and the experience at first.
And I had a similar experience to you. I was watching Zer Grizz montages, him playing Call of Duty 4, and I was so obsessed with him. Like, I'd show my real life friends, I'd be like, come here. And we'd be sitting around the desktop computer, watching this guy play Call of Duty 4. And I'm like, when I play, I shoot like 3 people in a row with my M16, and then I usually die. This guy's spinning off root, and I never considered that it's edited. It's a montage of months of work for him. I'm like, he just gets on and whirls around it just because there were no other videos like that. He was the first guy up there spinning around. And I was like, I have to do this. So I messaged him on, I must have been an early fan because I messaged him on Xbox Live and I was like, hey, I'd like to play with you sometime. I like your videos. And he sent me a friend request. So I started playing with him a bit. And he told me, like, you know, he's like, you need this Dazzle Platinum capture card and you need this.
Oh, I remember that piece of shit.
Yeah, and I went and bought all that shit. And my videos were just, the quality was just so shitty I didn't do it for a while. And but that was the original reason. It was I had seen his videos and I wanted to make gaming videos like those. I wanted to make a montage of my cool Call of Duty kills, and then of course I was doing like the Russian accent in Skype with you guys one day. I don't know who all was in there. I know Wings was in there, and there's a couple other guys, and somebody just thought that was hilarious, and they're like, you should make a YouTube channel of that guy, and I'm like, nobody wants to see that shit. Nobody cares about that guy. And initially the whole shtick was that like this is a guy who takes Call of Duty way too seriously, and he's a Russian immigrant to America.
And he was dumb.
He's not quick to like pick up the American way of life. So like one of his things is like he'll only use like the Russian weapons in the game. He's like, you know, this M16 is American piece of pussy plastic, and, you know, about it, like,
but there was a thing,
wood and steel and blood, and just like going on and just being ridiculous about my hatred for campers and such. But there are also the stories. I know that's what you're gonna say.
The UPS guy was coming in my head, right? I'm sorry about that. He totally didn't trust the UPS guy. This mysterious person in a total brown outfit would leave a box by the door and just leave. And he's like, I don't trust it. I'm not going out there. You know, and
KGB come in a brown truck. That's fucking. He's got 3 letters: UPS, KGB. I don't know. I've been under the bed for 5 hours.
His girlfriend was clearly a prostitute, and he's the only guy that didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, you know, really friendly with other guys, and he didn't understand it. But then he turned into like a super cool badass spy type guy.
Yeah, because at some point I thought it would be cool to show the difference between an MP5 in real life and an MP5 in Call of Duty, and it sort of went from there.
Yeah, my went from there was guided by the feedback I got, and I guess monetization, right? So when I was doing my channel like just for fun, like I had no profit motive at all, I uploaded every like 3 to 7 days, and I mostly gave tips. Like I had figured out how to play better than average, and I didn't think I was better than average on the stick. So I was like, all right, here, you know, knowledge and tactics is why I do well when I make my decisions, etc. Whereas other people, it seems like they just have laser accurate aim and they play on 10 sensitivity and all that. So I was sharing knowledge and tips. And then every so often I'd go off topic and just, you know, talk about things that are in my head or opinions or philosophies. And they got such great feedback that now I feel like that's the core of the channel. You know, people don't want me to tell them how to play COD. That's done.
No,
yeah,
nobody wants that anymore.
The first time I saw your channel, I think you were doing Mail Mondays. I think that's the first time I saw it, and that's when I subscribed.
Yeah,
AKA answer questions about girls and masturbating.
That bugs
we
me,
did
man.
a couple of those. We did a couple of those together. I really enjoyed doing those. I'm up to do that. Anytime you want to do another Mail Monday with me, I would be happy to do that.
Really?
It's really fun.
Problems in and we can ridicule it.
It was funny because I would do Mail Mondays and it was always really serious, right? I'd take it. I'd try to filter out anything that seemed fake. I get a lot of fake questions, but you know, when I brought Kyle in, we just choose the zaniest ones. Like, yeah, my dad, he got drunk and he fell out of his semi, banged his head, and now he's dead. I'm like, oh, I wonder what FPSRussia's take is on this guy. And,
yeah, those were always fun. I would always give them like terrible advice. I think the one guy like had 2 girls and he didn't know how to pick which one. I was like, fuck them both.
Yeah, don't be pussy. But yeah, then so the content was kind of guided towards the positive feedback I got. The daily uploads were, I guess it was probably an ambition thing, right? You know, like Wings of Redemption told me that he calculated his views and his CPM, like how much you get paid per 1,000 views. You guys know that, but they might not. Was 80 grand, and I was like, 80 grand. Wow, that sounds so amazing. And then I like I got partnered and I did like my run rate after a week or so, and it was like less than $5,000. And I was like, oh well, maybe I should work harder. So then I started uploading daily, and that it was a good run.
That was a good year for Wings. That may have been Wings' best year.
Right. Yeah. He was obviously like
he was
Modern
killing
Warfare
it.
2. He was like one of the king of the hills.
And he uploaded. He sent so many videos to Machinima. That's where, and
Yeah.
those had a premium CPM attached to them. And he always had he was on whoever was supposed to be taking him out of Dropbox to like process and upload. He was on that guy's
Anthony.
back like a big fucking 400-pound monkey. Like,
Yeah.
come on, get it up. Get it up!
What's
Get it
with
up!
you? You just uploaded the Ken Burton video. I'm all over that guy. You gotta. You should only be doing Ken Burton videos when there's no Wings videos. Yeah,
He
was
did a
all
good job at representing himself in that way because you had to, or they wouldn't get your shit up. Up
They
on
wouldn't
there.
find your fucking videos in that Dropbox forever. I had 2 that I left in there that just never went up.
They're
Just
still
never
in
went up.
there.
God.
They're still in there.
Probably.
Still there.
Yeah, and they were always like, his name was Shore Wars. They're like, he works so hard. He's so great at his job. Yet everyone he served was like, no, he's not great at his job till my videos.
Every time
Are
you
you-
message him and it's like, hey, we didn't get paid this month or last month or the month before. And I was just wondering if this is a real operation we're doing. Because I'm seeing fucking Playtex ads on my videos and I'm not seeing any of that Playtex money.
I remember asking Hutch. I was like, man, you could tell me if this whole thing's been a pyramid scheme. I've seen that shit before. I just need to know. I just need to know now because I've done the math and they owe me a lot. And are they going to give me that money? He's like, yeah, man, they gave me my money. I was like, well, how much was it? And he told me. I was like, all right, well, all right then, if you say so. And then like 2.5 more months went by.
Yeah, they used to pay quarterly, but it was like a quarter delayed. So you'd upload a video in July and get it next year. It was like, it was crazy.
On top of that, they had like a 15-day like late period they could have. So in reality, you would get paid 6 months plus 15 days after you uploaded the video.
And is this all early Machinima days?
Yeah, early
Oh, this is-
Machinima.
Yeah, dude, because
2010.
the stories I heard about Machinima and Maker early days, it's just like shit that does it like it's just the
I hated
craziest thing.
when they uploaded our videos because you guys were decently big in the beginning part, or at least Kyle was and Wings was. But for me, just some shithead, they'd upload my videos at like 11:58 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'd come back the next day and it'd be like 900. And it's like, are you shitting me? This isn't going to go up ever.
They used to hook me up. I get the last upload of the day.
I know you
typically.
did. I used to
Yeah.
have to link to my Machinima videos from my main channel and be like, hey, uploaded it at 1:30 a.m. on a school night, so that's great news for all my viewers. If
They
you
were
get
used
out
to
of math, check it
consistency.
out.
I think when I was sending them content like to Machinima, there just weren't very many directors at all. It was I know I signed before CNanners did, so there were like maybe 6 or 8 like new Call of Duty guys, and then like the old guard like Ken Burton and what's his name that sells women's shoes, Junkyard. It's not a knock against women's shoe salesman.
I didn't know he did that.
Shoes.
He
salesman.
sells Western attire, I think. So there's the
That's a little bit of that.
cowboy shirts with the ruffles on them, and the hats, and the men's cowboy boots, and I guess
Yeah, I'm
women's.
familiar with Western attire.
Yeah, but there,
Movies.
there was no competition. So I think they were only uploading like 2 videos a day on that like couple million subscriber channel, and it'd be like mine and like one other, and the other one might not even be that good, and mine would just be like the basics, the ABCs and stuff. Like, this is how the prestige system works, because there just wasn't another video that stopped and told anybody, and that shit was getting like 500,000 views each and stuff. I was like, this is gonna work out nicely, and then they started uploading 20 videos a day.
27.
27 a day.
27
Each
videos
worse
a day.
than the last. Like I tried to send in one tip video ever. And I know Phil's not familiar with my channel, but I tried to start it out with like watching people on YouTube doing the video games, and I was like, I'm fucking good at this shit. I can do this better than they can. And I was really wrong. I was not nearly as good at the game. I like sat there with my dazzle out for like 4 hours, like, God, this guy got a 30-2. Why can't I get a 30-2 while no scoping or doing something? So I just gave up on that and started doing just shooting the shit and off the cuff story time stuff. Nothing to do with video games at all. I would reuse gameplay 5-10 times. People would complain. It was just me talking.
And it was awful gameplay. Like
yeah,
it wasn't like you had a winner. Like he'd play Nazi zombies, get to level 6, and be like, perfect. I'll just keep using that.
Didn't give a shit. I'd have a huge audio file, talk for about 9 minutes, then cut it wherever, upload it. Everyone's just happy to see a video. Then do the same thing a little later. It worked out great. That's what you get with a small audience. But the one time I did send in a tip video to Machinima, I just got reamed. Just reamed. Just, you fucking idiot. You moron.
Dude,
I think they took it down.
I'm terrified at the idea of posting a video to a channel that's not mine. Or God forbid, if someone, like, people ask, like, while you're gone, can someone fill in? That's the worst idea ever. That person's going to get destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Just as a human being. Just dead.
I like going to those channels, like your style channel, or back in the day, even like Ray William Johnson, where he'd have to have like 3 weeks of like preparing his viewers, like, hey, what's up? Equals 3 guys. In 4 weeks from now, we're gonna have a new bubbly guy behind the fucking camera. So don't be too pissed. And then that one dude would come out and be like, "Hey, I'm here to, do the. Hey, look at this cat." And everybody's like, "The fuck this guy? Come on, Ray." Like, why wouldn't he tell us?
No, I was so jealous at the time, not because of viewers, not because of anything, but because he could have someone like Fluffy or Kasim G just fill in, and everyone's like, "That was good," and I'm like, "Really? Someone could just fucking do the job and everyone's happy." That's so good.
Yeah, my subscribers it must be me, right? Because even on my Minecraft server, you guys all know I have a good Minecraft server.
Wait, is that woodycraft.net?
Thank you.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Even on there, like on the forums, when people are unhappy, it is the most like disrespectful brand of unhappiness or feedback that you'll ever hear. It's just like my YouTube channel, right? Like, fuck, I have bad hair or something. Like, what do you look like? Death, you're gonna die. You suck. I think you would.
Wait, you start smoking? What happened? You've really gone downhill in the last 3 to 5 weeks, I'd say. Like, this is you going off. Like, they're cruel. Yeah. I read the comments. Like, you guys watch this video right now on YouTube. You're all scumbags, all of you. Like,
sometimes they hit so close to home that it hurts. Like when you post a video, and if someone's like, "Oh, you faggot asshole," it's like, all right, whatever. But if someone's like, "Hey, you got weird cheeks," it's like, oh, maybe I do.
It's harder and harder to hurt my feelings, and it's harder and harder to get my attention now too. I'm just like, I uploaded it, I'm done. I reply a couple times, and I'm just not here to be abused by you guys. But and then of course there's this huge majority that's not doing that, but it's hard not to hyper focus on the negative. But my Minecraft server, I see the same kind of patterns. It's like I must be handling it wrong, because it's a super successful thing. It's one of the top 5 servers on the planet. We got new games coming out. Psyched for that. And but like just the same, whatever, one guy has an issue and all of a sudden they want to my children. It's like, how did this come to that?
Maybe you should like have some some days where your Minecraft character kind of comes through as like carried, if you will, like on an altar, and you sort of toss points and rewards to them like peasants, like sort of like something out of Game of Thrones. That would be cool.
Or let them take their anger out on you. Build a giant statue of yourself, Saddam Hussein style, and then let them launch their bombs at it and destroy the big teetering statue of Woody.